Okay, recording. Fibro Turtles meeting, December 18, 2020. Yay.
Okay. All right, so this was designed to be our final meeting. I think that was a bit optimistic because there's still some data analysis coming up, but it's one of our final meetings. It's maybe number 1, 2, or 3, hopefully. So I guess we can share the screen. I'll just share my screen for the paper and then see if we can go through it together and if there's any other issues that may be coming up. I can't find it. Where would it be? Okay. You see the screen?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, so I've been working on this seasonal data. I'm kind of trying to go through each section day by day. So I don't know, who's this? That's Charles. I don't know where you want us to start looking at the paper. Should we just go through it from beginning to end?
Yeah, go for it. I'll just say that I don't have that much time today, but maybe we should do like a quick overview though, and then drill down on some key stuff that we talked about. So yeah, sounds good.
Okay. All right. So introduction, so far so good. Is everyone happy with that one?
Yeah, I think it's fine. The references in I think turquoise color, because I did not find them. I could not find the paper.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah,
I'll
so
look
if
for
you
those.
see that color means I did not find them.
Okay. Thanks for that clarification. I thought it went the opposite. And the ones in red means you found them?
No, the ones in red, they were originally in red. I don't know what that meant.
Okay, so everything except blue and red is okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I can work with that. Methods. Any thoughts or comments on the methods?
Yeah, I think it's okay. It's
Okay.
explaining everything. The only thing that I thought we should include, no, it's not on methods, I think. No, it's not on methods. It's about the seasons, like just to do a kind of referencing in the different seasons, like the Kaskazi, like to get a good reference. And also, yeah, I think we need to reference those. It's somewhere down. I saw that I did not add a comment, but I think that's the only thing that I would say we need to reference more, and also to try to. I wanted to have some little bit more of literature to try to discuss that, but my time has been really limited for the last 2 weeks.
Discuss what? What would you
discuss? The seasons. The seasons. Yeah, and also have a reference, because I think what we just have currently is just there are these seasons and that's all. And during these seasons we had this and this, but someone would be interested to know how comes we have this and where do they come from and something like that.
Yeah.
So I thought we would have more information on it and it would be helpful.
Yeah, it's interesting, but it's also like not a big part so much because we didn't find anything there, so it's not like a crucial part of the story. So I agree.
Sure.
It's interesting, but and be interesting to look into that, but it's also like not urgent. I think.
Yeah. It's really not hard.
Yeah, we lost Sharon. Yeah, because like Yeah, because if we really want to, Sharon is not here, but if we really want to like get this done, maybe we should like prioritize, what we feel is like important, especially because I think none of us really have time now, right? We're
Yeah,
all
yeah,
rather busy.
yeah.
Yeah. Sharon, you're back. Sharon. Mm. Yes.
Sorry, guys. Hi, it's
Welcome
my
back.
network. Thank you. And to make things worse, I'm invigilating an exam. It's supposed to be finished by 2, but there's problems with the network. It's just, yeah, sorry. But let me go back to where we were.
Yeah.
Charles, you were saying, sorry.
I was just trying to add a comment on the seasons.
Okay, in the methods or in general?
Yeah, it's not about the analysis, but the referencing, like, because on the methods they are well explained, but the reference,
The
I think,
reference in the discussion or?
no, on the seasonal and environmental data on the, is it, yeah, just above the results.
Okay, so we need a reference for here.
Yeah, exactly.
We have one here for McClanahan explaining the organization of the seasons. And I should have also added, for how we organize these ones. So I can add a reference here.
Okay.
For for adding seasons.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought like that would be really good, because to not be like we are just coming up with the story.
Yeah, I understand you. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I just like said that I completely agree. Like the seasons are not like clear and requires like further reference, and also we can still see your screen, Sharon. Just
Oh, sorry. I have to extend an exam. Excuse me. I have to extend this very quickly because they're having an issue with the network. But I've commented. I agree. We'll
yeah.
just
So
ignore this part of the cutoff date.
so I'm saying that I agree with Charles, but also that I don't know. We should like also think about prioritization, like in this meeting
Yeah.
and in meetings, because we want to get this done, and the seasonality is important, but also it's not really important because it's not like a big part of the story that we're trying to tell, right?
Right. Okay. So I've made a comment here. Seasons. Great. Okay. So location. Anything else about the methods that was not clear so that I write it down here?
I think for me, I think it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now the results. This is where I've been working mostly. And this is an area where I was querying with ITA about. So you may want to just discuss that briefly, because to agree on the totals will mean everything else will flow. I'm getting a different total altogether.
Yeah, because we did two different analysis here. So
you did including recapture. Okay, maybe just explain the one you did.
Yeah, I'm setting it up now. Yeah, so I was the idea was that I was looking to get just unique turtles. So I was basically, like I don't want to say anything misleading. So I'm just reading the code as we speak. And the turtles. Okay. So unique turtles. It's either a turtle that has a tag, then it's unique, or a turtle that was not tagged, but also that in the same season there wasn't another turtle caught in the same size.
Okay.
That's
In the same size.
That's basically it.
Okay.
So if it's tagged, it's unique by definition, and if it's not tagged, then it's unique only if in the same year and season there were not caught turtles in the same size. Yeah, that's the whole. It's the whole thing.
Okay, so the method I used was similar to yours. So that was turtles that are tagged were unique, but I also included in this in the total turtles that were not tagged but not caught on the same day. So a turtle that is caught maybe in November and one that's caught in December that's not tagged, I assume that they're unique. And so those were differentiated like that for seasonal, for annual, and the only analysis I didn't put those turtles in was location. So even adding those, I still got less than you.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like the number here, the 11,300, is without recaptures, I think. Right? What did we write?
It's with recaptures. If you said, if I see your comment here.
Yeah, it's with recaptures, but not like excluding them, right? You look at the 9,400 when you're excluding something, or
yeah. So this is what I got when I excluded the recaptures.
Yeah. So this is without excluding the recaptures. This
The
number
one,
I got.
Yeah. So I'd explained in the methods that we were going to use, we're going to exclude recaptures because you don't want to count the same turtle twice in like a month or a year or a season. So I did recapture data for all those, for the year, for the season, for months, like that. So there will be some variation in the totals that way, as in like the total for annual will be different the total for seasons because of the recaptures, but essentially they should all tally up.
Yeah, I think that's like for me, like in my eyes, the most important thing is consistency. So like choose one method of what we call a turtle, what is a unique turtle, whatever, and just be consistent without, as much as possible, and hopefully like throughout the paper. That's what makes sense to me.
Yeah. So what I've written here is turtles were counted by cross-checking individual entries in the database using tag number, tag captured, data captured, date captured, and location. Why is it doing that? What is this? Anyway.
It's like a suggestion to. It's like I actually like this better. I don't know why it happened, but
okay.
It makes it clearer, like what changes are. And,
I see. Yeah. So tags were used to sort recaptures, where turtles that were not tagged were assumed to be unique individuals, and turtles with a recurring tag number were counted as a recapture.
Yeah, so this is the analysis you did, right?
Yeah, but this is not quite explaining it all. Just how can you undo that? This it should read tags, dates, and locations were used to sort recaptures. So that's how I did it. If I just quickly go to my database of how I did it, can you see this here?
No, we're still looking at the Google Doc.
New share. Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to now share. Can you see this screen?
Yeah.
So I, excuse the helicopter. I sorted the sites according to location and year. So the ones in blue are ocean sites, the ones in yellow are creek sites. Then if you see over here, I also included these ones. So these are the ones where the location was not recorded, but some were, you know, they said creek, some said ocean, and then some didn't put anything at all. So I removed, I included all of these in the final total count. But you see for things like,
what are the columns here?
the columns a year. So
Okay.
this is 2003 to 2019.
Okay.
And then at the end here would be total infected total cohorts. So you have totals by site and you have totals by year down here. So you can see the totals I'm getting by site here is 9,424. And then the totals I'm getting by year is 8,153. And so I'm still trying to figure out which one, but I want to use the one that is closest to your total that you get when you're not when you've adjusted for recaptures.
But why not just use the, like, if we wanted to be consistent, why not just use like what the analysis that I did? Like why?
Because yours has got recaptures in it, and so we're trying to adjust for recapture according to year, according to season, and according to, was it month? Yeah. I haven't got your data for your totals without the recaptures, because if you include the recaptures, we can't be clear that we're not counting the same total twice.
Yeah, so excluding recaptures, I can just send you the like anything.
Yes, could you send me your recaptures, because I'm going to, I'll need it by year, recapture by year. I've kind of already sort of done it, but if you like, yeah, I would really like to see yours just for comparison, just to see which is the one that we will go with. But yeah, by size, so creek and ocean, and turtles caught here, turtles infected.
I mean, it's like it's fine if we use yours. It's just, I don't know, like it seems like a bit of a waste of time to do the analysis twice and then trying to compare them, because that just never works. You know.
Yeah, I figured you'd already done it, so I just wanted to compare and see, you know, if it's matching up, and if it isn't, why?
Yeah.
You know.
Sure.
Okay.
So what exactly do you want me to send to you?
Totals overall between 2003 2019.
Okay, after adjusting for recaptures
Exactly.
by season, like by ocean season, or by year, I can also do, or like whatever.
But by year and by ocean season, those two, yeah, because that's where we'll be including everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Write it down.
Just for comparison, because the analysis has been proceeding using the totals that we have here, but I will feel much better if what you're getting is close to or similar to what I'm getting. So it's just for comparison. I mean, it won't stop the paper or nothing, but it will help me.
Okay. Captures by. Okay.
All right. So that's this is annual prevalence, and then I started to look at recapture rates over the years, and the reason I started to go into the recaptures is because it occurred to me that recaptures would be an indicator of sites where turtles like to forage the most. So maybe if a turtle is going to a particular site more than others, it might be either exposing itself to infection more, or it's protecting itself from infection more, one or the other. So I wanted to see if maybe they're picking sites that are more pristine habitats for them, or they keep going back to sites that are infected or polluted, which is exposing them to infection. So that's why I'm going into the recaptures.
Yeah, that's cool. So did you do the analysis? Do you have results from that?
I'm in the middle, but from what I'm seeing, it's not much. There's a weak negative correlation in that the higher the recaptures, the less chance of infection.
Higher
So
the recapture, less anchovies. Okay, so they're avoiding the
they might be.
Yeah.
They might be avoiding sites that are potentially polluted, which would be cool if that's like we can solidify that finding, because then
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's interesting, but it's also, you know, it's a bit of a
it's a stretch, I know.
Yeah. Like
it's something to mention and say, oh, we can
yeah.
expand on this when we get money.
Exactly. It's interesting. It's an interesting direction, and I'm sure, like something to follow up on, you know, like more research. Yeah, for sure.
Right, and that's why I was doing the Mantel tests as well. I don't know if you saw in the analysis I mentioned about the Mantel tests. So that's a way to do correlation using matrices. Let me just go quickly up so you see over here. No, I've gone really far. It's just over here. Yeah. Well, I'm talking about the Mantel tests. So I took matrices across location and by year and location for recapture, and the same for prevalence. And then there's a package in R that will allow you to see if there's an association there.
Oh, between what again? Sorry, like I don't know the Mantel test.
Mantel test in R, it's used in a package called Vegan, and it's used for ecological studies very much, especially when you want to find out the relationships in space of particular natural phenomena. So, you know, the spatial variation of animals, or, you know, how randomly, how is a population distributed, those kind of things. So in this case, I made two matrices. I made one of prevalence by site and by year, and then I made another one of recapture rates the same way by site and by year. And then I ran the Mantel, comparing the two together to see if there's any association at all or correlation between the two. And then that's what I was using now to see if recapture and prevalence are related to one another.
Okay, cool. Like by site. Okay, yeah.
By site and also by year. Yeah, by site. Sorry, by site. Yes.
So you're looking for a correlation between like a matrix of Fibro by site and recaptures by sites, right? And
exactly.
That's the test. So if there is a correlation, cool.
Yeah, with the Bray-Curtis dissimilarity matrix. Okay, so that's for that, and then we got this here. I changed the figures because after adjusting for recaptures and so on. Charles is doing something funny there. Anyway. Then,
sorry, I had to shut up my camera.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, and then locational influence. Still have to work on this. Still have to work on this, especially the heat map. So I managed to produce a heat map, but it needs a lot more detail in terms of like what does the red mean? It needs to show up in the legend, and somehow that is the trickiest part of the heat map. I have to sort of customize it so that it shows that no red color is 0 prevalence, and then a high red color is equal to about 1 or high prevalence.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good though. Like it looks very clear that there is something in these areas, and like inside the creek, there's clearly like nothing. Like it looks good.
Okay, all right, as long as it's straightforward.
Yeah.
Charles, any comment? Oh, and then on the heat map, this point clearly, it apparently is Mayungu. I thought Mayungu was in Watamu, but it's not, eh?
Yeah, it's not.
So I'll have to remove that and redo it. Disappear, okay. Yeah, I'll have to remove that and redo it so that if, Mayungu is not in Watamu. This is the site I was telling you about, Ita, yesterday, when you brought up the point about including other sites and just focusing on the Watamu ones. But you see, like some of them are so close to Watamu itself that it's worth adding to the data sets just so that we get a bit more of a solid, where was it that you said here? It was a long discussion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the question is like how closely LOC works with these sites.
Especially for the Mayungu, the only turtles that come from Mayungu, they are the sick ones because it's really far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's really far. They only bring the sick ones, and that's what if you can remember from our previous discussion about the sites without Watamu, they only bring turtles if they are sick.
Yeah.
It's okay, but then in the last,
but then it's biased. That's what I was talking about.
Well, this is the thing, because even though they're just bringing the sick ones, there's some that are brought because they're injured, so they're not necessarily sick,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's not necessarily fibro.
Right. So if you look at this table here, the actual number of turtles brought in is like 96 from other sites, which is quite a large number.
Yeah.
And most of this 96 is coming from Mayungu. From what I could get, Mayungu is like 78 of those turtles, which is why I kept asking you, Charles, are you sure it's not in Watamu? How come there's so many turtles being caught from this area? But if it's not, then I don't want to throw away that,
Yeah.
And then it also is a comparison for now, like different locations. So within Watamu, broad locations, and then other sites. And is there any difference between these three?
Yeah,
so I was going to do an analysis on that.
Wait, so you're saying that the mean fibro prevalence in the ocean is 0.2?
0.23, yeah.
Are you sure? That sounds really off.
No, it's 23%. That's what that translates to.
How come? If there's 109 turtles infected out of 2,400 caught, looks like
out
there's
of 24 caught. This is the mean.
There's
That's
a zero missing there.
Well, if we were to do 109 divided by 24 direct, that gives us 0.04. But you see, when we do the mean, yeah, you're right. There's a zero missing. There's a zero missing there, you're right. Yeah, 0.02.
And that's why I'm saying that this data is that the other sites are biased. You see, because it's a whole different.
Yeah, that's the point. That's the point. I initially said that the other sites will only bring the sick turtles, especially only the sick turtles.
Yeah.
So the prevalence will be high from other sites than the general Watamu sites.
But we can explain that in the discussion, because you can say the bias is human caused because they only bring in turtles that are sick. But however, this is an indication of the prevalence that we can expect of fibro around the region, sort of thing.
Yeah.
No, but you can't expect that because you don't have the actual amount caught there. Like it's not. You would get like much higher prevalence because you only get the sick turtles.
Yeah, literally, like we don't have any information to say because from that area we cannot conclude anything on it. The only thing we can say, they only bring the sick ones.
The thing is, they're not just bringing the sick ones. They're bringing turtles that are injured. They're bringing turtles that were beached on the, they're just bringing them into LOC. So they're not all sick, which is why we have like a prevalence value here.
Yes, sorry. By sick, I meant they have healthy complication, not only fibro.
So, are you suggesting that we just remove this data altogether because it's not useful, or what?
I'm saying that it's biased. Like it will make fibro look more prevalent than it is, and to put it together with the other data is misleading.
Yeah,
it's not quite together here. I was trying to sort of categorize it as a comparison, but
yeah, but even there, like if you only look at this data, right, without having the context that it's then it looks like in the other sites there's 10 times more fibro, right? Which is, there's no reason to assume that. But if you only look at this table, then it's sort of the picture that you get.
Okay, so we remove the other data. Remove other site data.
Yeah, so I think it should be like excluded from the analysis. Like maybe just describe it in the beginning and then say that it's biased, and that's why we choose to ignore it.
Yeah, because even the total captures is not like really the total capture.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so anything else about location? I'll redo that over the weekend because it will mean the ironic thing is that originally I had done all of this without including that, and then I redid it including all the other sites. But I can go back because I have the other data already, so it's fine. Okay. And then I'll have to exclude my Yungu over here and redo that. Okay. Any other comments on location?
I think it's okay.
Other than it looks good, and I think it's like the main finding, right? It's like the biggest part of the story.
I agree with you. Yes, it is. It is, and it really strengthens the fact that there's things happening in these particular locations, which you can look into. And I don't know, Charles, maybe for the discussion, maybe you'll be able to find out exactly the onshore activities here so we can include it when we're discussing, in the discussion part. Okay.
That'd be cool, right? And it doesn't have to be like super specific, right? We can just do like we think it might be this, and there was some this, that, blah, blah, blah.
Yes, and then we can link it to other studies, showing similar. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe also putting if you want, it might be like complicating things, but maybe it's worth mentioning you remember the graph about, the by year, like area by year, that you can see that the prevalence changes. It's in the north that it goes down, and in other places it goes up.
Hold on, there was a graph like that somewhere. This one, not this one. This is something else. This is by month. But you had drawn one by year.
Yeah, wait, I'll share it.
Okay, let me stop sharing.
So it's...
Oh boy, we haven't been recording.
No, we're recording. It's recording.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
It's recorded. Okay, so this thing. Now here it's I don't know, with all these colors might be a bit confusing, but
I remember this graph, but we had agreed that
y-axis and year.
Yeah, didn't we agree that you're going to sort of tidy up that graph? Yes, like that, and then put little error bars.
Yes, wait. Yeah, so the error bars just didn't look very good. Because they're all very big and like overlapping, so it's confusing, I think. But.
Did you what measures were you using for the error bars? Was it prevalence?
This is all prevalence data, yeah.
So the error bars are also prevalence and still big?
Yeah. Yeah, but I can, you know what? I don't see it here. So I can maybe. Okay, there's still a to do here, but I remember I had this. Yeah, but basically this is also like the. This is actually clearer, I think, than the error bars, because this is also the error. Um,
Yeah, I think okay. I would like to hear Charles's opinion. I'm a bit biased because I'm a bit old school when it
yeah.
comes to displaying data. Yeah. So Charles, I don't know what do you think.
Oh, there it is.
No,
So it's this is like
Oh,
with the error bars, but you see, it's not clear now. Maybe I can make it clearer. I don't know, like jiggle the error bars or something. I just
what did
think
you
that
make the error bars out of?
this is month, I think. So this
I
is
mean, like,
monthly
we're using.
data, right? This is monthly data. So I group by location, and yes, the error bars are made by month. This is like the standard monthly deviation of
Sorry,
Fibro per year,
is it
each location.
Oh, it's standard deviation, not standard error. Standard error.
I think it's the standard deviation. I'm not sure. I think it's
Okay.
default. But you
Sorry,
can see
Charles, I
they're big.
interrupted you. Yeah, I can see
uh,
how they're big. What do you think?
it's all right.
This it is.
Especially the one with the colors. I always have a problem with identifying the colors.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not colorblind, but I have trouble identifying them, and also think most people would have same trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And for the error bars, I think it looks like very confusing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the color thing is a good point. I got told off by one of my students the other day because he's colorblind, and I made the assignment in the colors that he can't see in. So maybe
Oh,
that's the only consideration because you can change the colors here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
If
easy.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's easy.
yeah.
Can
But I think if the major thing is to show the variation, we can see clearly the variation even with the lines.
So you're saying this
No, without the error bars.
without error bars. So this.
Yeah, because I think what you're trying to say is to look at the shift in the variation in the prevalence per year and try to relate that to the hotspots and the activities happening near the hotspots, right?
Also, maybe
Mm.
I could just do like the green
No, no,
as
no,
one,
no.
and
Hold
the
on.
rest is different. You know, so
Yeah,
like
but
north, and then the rest is like because there's the really because I think that's the main thing that you see here, right? Is that the green is started high
it's
and then
different. But
went
I
low,
think it's
but the
good that
others
they're all together because it shows very clearly that those spikes that we see in 2013 and 2019
yeah.
are caused by this red curve, which is the south of the creek, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think it's very interesting, like you said, that that northern part is lowest when everyone else is high. So
Yeah.
what was happening like there when
Mm-hmm.
everyone's getting infected, but the northern part is
Yeah.
okay, which
Yeah.
indicates
Yeah.
that those areas there's something to do with the creek there.
Exactly. There's something
Yeah.
happening with the locations,
Yeah.
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 which sends us off to like a yeah, which is like our whole story basically.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I can find some literature based on those years on maybe things that happened and try to,
That would
yeah, that would give some kind of an explanation because I think
Yeah.
it's important to, like, it's a important observation.
Yeah, I think that would be very helpful. And also if we can again just find out like the main activities on shore around like the creek, inside the creek and the creek mouth, and then
Mm-hmm.
compare it to the northern shore. If I'm not wrong, is
Mm-hmm.
in most of the northern shore hotels.
Yeah, yeah, it's mostly hotels.
And then the rest is what, fishing and residential or what?
On the creek, it's mostly fishing because it's protected, so mostly it's just fishing. And then on the southern part, there are hotels, but not so many. Not so many like the north.
So it's still fishy.
Yeah, mostly fishing.
Could also put this on the heat map to do like a few heat maps.
I was
of the
gonna do that.
years.
I was gonna superimpose it. I was waiting for this graph, but I figured you got busy. But I was gonna superimpose it on the side, on like the top right part of the picture, which is ocean, and then we give it as one figure that is like we can expand the discussion on it, the results or whatever. So I can actually for now, I'll just use this to write, the recording here and use it to write the results. But our discussion will really a lot of it will be to do with this here.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So what do you think? Like which graph? So like, how do you think we should display
both
this?
graphs will be fine. Okay, so this one, I like this one that's you have here on the screen. We should use this. I think we should use this one and put it on the map. I want to keep the one that's already in the paper because that's showing like seasonal prevalence. So you may, and of like the different sites or monthly prevalence.
Yeah, I was waiting for some data from you, right, to get the.
Yeah, I put it on the thingy. I put it on the folder.
Did?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure, I did this already or not.
So what are we changing here?
I don't know. I'm just sending it to you.
Oh, okay.
Right, you want this. So we'll just give up the error bars, or because again it looks just like very messy.
I wish there was a different way to show the variation within each point. And I have a feeling someone's going to ask us, why didn't you put error bars? But if they really insist, then we'll have to find a way to do it. But if they don't, then we'll just put it without the error bars and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just scientifically correct to show variation somehow in your in your plots.
Of course, and also like you can see that let's say with some sort of error bars, it looks you still see it, right? Here it's orange, the north. So it's like really low here. We get, maybe even like this. Just this is just look at 2013 and I don't know, like 2007, 2018. I don't know.
The thing with this is it's not very clear. I know what you mean, and I want to hold on a second. And let me see if I can find an older school variation of what you're trying to do here, but it's clear, because I appreciate what you're trying to do there. So hold on, but hold on, where is it? Okay, are there other questions as I look for this thing? The other one was season. Have we talked about season?
What about season?
Have we discussed it yet? Have we passed that?
We just said that we want to talk about it a bit more and great to add some more references. Charles was saying.
Okay. Can I quickly share my screen just to see to give an example of what you were? Okay.
Please do.
So here you see how they tend to show variation in different whatevers. So maybe what you could do, I think you touched on it and then I was shutting you down because I didn't understand what you were trying to say perhaps, but we could separate each of those lines and then give it its own box, and then it will be clearer, the variation that is associated with each line. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Instead of having it on the same graph, then we can arrange it as graphs going down the side of the map, 4 of them, And then we'll just, and then
Okay,
that way
so
it will be clear like what's going on in which part of the creek.
okay, so one second, I'll go back to my screen. If that's okay.
Okay.
So you're saying, let's say this or this. I can do both and see which one looks better.
I think
To
this one.
separate them into 4 different graphs, right?
No, forget this one. This one I don't.
You don't like
This
this one. This you don't like.
No,
I mean, it would be
I think
clear once it's 4 different
preferable.
graphs.
Yeah, it would be clear. But you see, if it's going to be 4 different graphs, this one would have worked if the error bars were not so big. So
Yeah.
I'm suggesting it for this one, this second one down here where you are.
Yeah. Okay.
So that we can put them like in separate so that the colors stand out. We don't use green and we don't use red. I think those are the colorblind colors. So anything except those ones. So blue, yellow, blue, yellow, what?
There's like a thing for with different color blind compact colors. Okay. So just split this into 4 different graphs. Cool.
Yeah, and then send to me. I think that will look so cool. Going down the side of the map, and then
yeah, I see now. I see what you're like. There would be like small graphs at the side of the map. That would be cool.
And then one more thing that you would do with those ones, just scroll down to the other graph you made.
This one?
No, the other one.
This one.
No, yes, that one. Those little dots. Sorry, they're data points. That's the correct name. Add the data points for those lines, please.
Like here.
Yes, like in this one, it should have data points just to. Yeah.
Okay. No problem.
Cool. What else? Okay, so season. Let me go back to the paper. I'll just share my screen again. So we've talked about location. Location. We passed season. I think we discussed season because clearly we went by it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then this table here, I will just tidy it up to look a bit more formal. So I'll remove some of these, but I'll just include some of the important variables in there and type it in a way that I'm not changing anything. I'm just type it in a way that it looks neater, because this is copy pasted, right?
Yeah, I mean the issue I have, I guess with this and also with the previous one is that like all the analysis that I did was using my way of adjusting for recaptures. So, and I think it's probably makes sense to stick to like a consistent way of looking at the data. So, yeah. So
do you mind redoing it in the way that we agreed? Or
so I mean it doesn't matter, like it doesn't matter like if it's in the way that I did it or in the way that you did it, but I think it should be consistent. So yeah, so you need to choose one and I think do everything by that. So I think.
Okay. No? Would you mind if I prevail and say that the way that I've described it in the methods is the way that we will do it? So in other words, recaptures would be corrected for using tags, using date of capture.
Yeah, so you're saying that a recapture is that it was recaptured what, like in the same day, right?
Let me go up to, sorry, let me just go up to where I had. So here, the way I did it, I used tags like you, but then, so, what I would do is should I don't know, should I demonstrate how I did it, and then you can see, you can tell me if that's acceptable or not. Okay, let me go to the main database, which is this one screen. Yeah, share that. So this is our main database, right?
Yep.
And let's say I wanted to sort recaptures for, let me pick a nice juicy site for Mayonda, right? So what I did is I go to the tag here. I'll click on all the ones that show none. These count as unique to me because they're numbered in such a they're identified as a unique way, right? So I'll remove all of these, but I won't chuck them away. I'll just take note of how many they are. Then I'll copy this, just paste it into a whole other screen like that. And then there's a way in Excel that will allow me to remove the duplicates. And I get the recapture number. So I remove all the ones that don't have tags, first of all, and then I'll sort the recapture using the ones with tags, and then the ones that don't have tags, I assume that they're unique.
What do you mean? The ones that wait, so the tags here, like it's for all the dates.
No, this is for now Mayonda. I just picked one site.
So if a turtle was caught in Mayonda today, like in 2005, and was caught again in 2015, right?
And it has a tag.
So so you'll be throwing that away, right? The second time that or the first, whatever.
No, you do it according to year. I did it according to year. Okay. Yeah. So I did it according to year, and I did it according to season.
Year and season also.
Yes, yeah, year and season.
And location.
So
year, season, and location, right?
Year, season, and location, exactly. Which is why I was getting different totals, but it's because of how you're organizing the data.
Yeah. And if it's not tagged, what did you again? I didn't.
If it's not tagged, so over here, when you click on this, it shows me I have 2,625 from Mayonda, right? So I'll go to the tag area. I'll unclick all the ones that have none or missing, so not recorded, none, not recorded, not tagged. Then it now gives me 2,609.
Okay.
So then I just subtract one from the other to find out how many don't have tags from this site.
Okay.
Overall. And then the ones now that do have tags, then I will sort for duplicates.
Okay, so you sort like unique by, let's say, year, season, and location, and then you add to that all those which were not tagged.
Exactly. Yes, that's what I've done.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're assuming that the ones that aren't tags are unique, because what are the chances of you catching a non-tagged turtle again and again, like 6 times in the same year? It's the same turtle, I'm assuming that they're unique. Also, the fact that they're not tagged is an indicator that they're unique.
Yeah, assuming that the tagging is actually happens. Which we know that there was issues with that, blah blah blah. But I guess it's fine to ignore it. Also, it's not like large numbers, so like.
And we can put a disclaimer at showing that there is some source of human bias here, which would affect the outcome. However, we did our best to sort it.
Yeah.
In the discussion.
Okay, I think that's fine. I think that's fine, and I think it makes a lot of sense to do this by location, which is something I didn't do.
I did it 3 ways, so it doesn't, you know, it depends on what you're focusing on.
No, yeah, I think so. I think we should do it in one way throughout, if it's possible. I think that's the best way, right? Because otherwise
So
you'll just be
location.
looking at different data, and it will be just weird, and people are like,
Yeah,
blah
I hear
blah.
you.
You know, so
I hear you. Okay, so
choose
we
one
will
and do it,
just.
and this looks looks fine. Like maybe you need to talk about it a little bit, but it's reasonable because also the untagged, it's not large numbers, and yeah, the chances of a turtle being untagged like in the same location in the same season in the same yeah it's not substantial anyway, like it's not, it won't affect anything. So yeah, I think like yeah, okay. Yeah, so I'll redo my analysis basically this way.
Okay, the only thing it will affect, Ita,
yeah,
is this one here where we are showing it by year. But I don't think that's an issue, right? This is just, again, if we use locational data, it will still come out the same, right?
Probably. I mean, it's just, it should only matter for like turtles caught by, for like turtles like recaptures, that it should be different, but those numbers are not very high anyway. Like I think it should be fine.
Okay.
And also it's very like, I don't know, it makes sense. Like I didn't do it by location, and I think it makes sense to do this by location. That if a turtle is caught, it's actually I don't know, maybe it's a question that we need to think about also. Like if a turtle was caught like in one spot, if it's caught like a week later in another spot, is it a recapture?
That's why the annual one is important, because the annual one will account for that turtle being caught in different places. Like let's say Fred is going on a tour of Watamu Bay throughout 2005, and you find him in Mayonde, you find him in Mayunga, and he gets counted like 8 times.
Yeah.
So if you do it by year, then you'll remove that bias. You see, so that's why I did it three ways, because I was afraid of the bias that would come in. So according to what you're trying to do, like in this graph here, this is just to show annual prevalence. And actually, this is a really important finding. We've had this all along, but it's quite something to discuss.
For sure.
So I think it would be good to keep, to do it by year as well, like it's been done here. But like you said, the rest we use location. So I just need to
I agree.
describe that.
I think
I
agree
describe
completely.
that properly.
So here
I'll just make it clearer.
To leave out location, and basically everywhere else that it will be by both by year, season, and location, right? Because that's the main story we're trying to tell, and we should stick to that. And yeah, and just talk about it, like explain why we want location here and not there, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, so that will vary the totals. If you're on board with that, then you understand why that will vary the totals. Okay.
Yes, but we'll have to talk about it. We'll just explain.
Yeah. We have to. I just have to make it clearer in the methods.
Yes,
okay,
exactly.
All right.
Exactly, and
yeah, I think that's okay.
Go ahead, Charles.
Yeah, I think that's okay, and as I had earlier said, I think my time is almost up, so I would request to leave, and then I'll listen to the recording later.
Okay, no problem. Thank you for joining us. Any other further comments you have before you go?
No, I'll just continue reading, and in case something crops up, I'll just pin a comment.
Okay, please keep looking out for new references, because I'll be adding for sure. They'll be coming really quickly in the next couple of days.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your.
Bye. Yeah. Have fun.
Okay, so let me just move quickly to the discussion and what I've written there. So I put the sections according to what's in the results. So the general findings, which would be like annual stuff and the recaptures and so on. Then seasonality and environmental factors, although this should be coming after location, just so that it's flowing in a consistent way. But I was in the middle of writing a bit more about seasonality. If you noticed here, I've added this just today. And I want to expand on it a bit more. And then something about the environmental variables, which were they're not the main story. And then now location is where we will really go to town. It's not finished, this isn't it. But yeah, location is the one I'm expecting will have the most to write about because it's our main finding.
Yeah, cool.
And I really appreciate as well if you guys will also write something. I will just correct the grammar if necessary, but otherwise I want input from both you and Charles on like getting it together.
Yeah.
The more people, the quicker. Yeah.
For sure. Thanks. I think that's a good idea, and I feel like we are. Yeah. It was important for me that we be consistent in what the data is, and I think I understand now like how it is, and this will help me to like bring in some input now that I understand how to.
You've been bringing input all along.
No, like I mean, like into the paper. I mean, but
okay.
Also to write. So this is output already. This is not input.
Output. Yes, output. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Okay, I guess any other thing? I know that Charles has been working on the references, so I'll just let him keep doing that and I'll help him if possible. But yeah, I'm trying to now do results and discussion at the same time, which for me works because as you start to talk about the results, and your ideas for discussion comes.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, cool. So I'll redo the analysis how we said. I'll send you the graphs, and yeah. What about like timeline? It's
This paper was supposed to be finished today.
okay.
I'll just that's all I'll say, because I keep putting deadlines and it doesn't work. So what do you think?
It helps. It helps. Deadlines are good. I'm a great believer in deadlines. Like, but if you miss the deadline, you need to set a new one. But it's still having one, because without a deadline, it would just go on forever.
Yeah. So what about if it was finished? Shall we give ourselves next Friday?
Next Friday. Let's see how.
Next Friday is Christmas.
So yeah. So. Yeah. So maybe not Friday, but I don't have. I'm not that busy. How about Wednesday? 23rd.
Wednesday 23rd for our next meeting?
Yeah.
Or to finish it?
I don't know, just to, because otherwise, I just won't do it.
Okay, let me do it. Let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. We will have our next meeting on Wednesday the 23rd, if you can make it, yeah?
Yeah.
And then we are gonna send this paper out for Justin and other reviewers to look at from between Wednesday and Monday, which is the 28th. And then
I don't think we'll be finished by. I think that's too optimistic. Like, okay, let's see. Like, I have like I don't know, like 2 hours, let's say, of like doing the analysis and blah blah blah, and then. And making like the graphs nice. So yeah, it should be like about 2 hours. So that I can do by Wednesday, but I'm guessing we will still need to do some, like writing, rewriting, all that stuff, editing.
I'm putting that strict
After,
deadline on my. It's more for me, but it's more for me. So I'll sort of try and stick to that. But okay, you tell me what you're thinking. No, you tell me what you're thinking.
Wednesday for me, I think is a good deadline to just have what we talked about, like all these tasks. It's good. I can do that by Wednesday, and and after that, the next few days after that, just to edit asynchronously the paper. So let's just say Wednesday at like 5 your time. Does that make sense? That good?
Wednesday at 5?
Wednesday at 5.
Are we not on the same timeline anymore?
You mean like it's like 12? It's
what time is it there?
Now here it's 2, right?
So you're an hour behind. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's say at your 5, it's my 4. Is that good?
Okay. Yes. Okay. That works for you? Okay.
Yes, I'm sending it out. Charles. Yes, I mean it's for me, I think it's just important that we end this by, let's say, mid-January, because I think after that I'll get busy again.
I want to end this by the end of this year, because because this next year is gonna be super busy for me. I've been made the head of the department, so I want to get this out of the way. Thank you.
Right, that's a good thing.
It means more meetings, but but I want to get this out of the way and done well before that happens. So actually, my main focus is to do this and get it out. And so by next year, we're just looking for somewhere to publish.
Perfect. Okay, good. Yeah, sounds great. So I'll try to put in what I can by Wednesday, and then it sounds really good.
All right, cool. All right, the students are running into an issue. I think I need to go.
Okay, cool. I think we're done. So I'll upload this, and and we'll talk on Wednesday.
Okay, cool. At what time did we say? 5? My time, 4 p.m. Your time.
5. Your 5.
Okay. So. All right. Cool.
So.
Enjoy your weekend.
Yeah,
Thank
you too. You too. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you. Asante. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.